I am defenseless. The stale sun sizzles my pale, unarmored skin. She pierces through any fabric, leaving a trace of ooze and cracks. I really thought my 100 SPF sunscreen would be a match to her beating force coming down on me. How pathetic, I say, chuckling. Whatever I applied this morning has long come off, leaving behind a clammy, sticky mess. I wish for any sort of relief. Water is scarce on a day like today. Dumping it all on my back will leave me pain-free but dead of dehydration. Heat this intense as a wave slowing you down. My inflamed torch back whimpers at the thought of having to bend down. Each movement is another strike against my blistering, frail body. My breath quickens and I gasp. I contemplate wasting my precious water, but flash back to the day I worked without any. Early on, I started hearing voices from people who weren't there. Around midday is when I swore there was Teddy shouting, "How you doing, Hailstorm?" To my horror, vacant space. It only grew worse as my clouded mind begged for water. Every step made my thirst more alive. My throat felt like it was being slowly edged closed. The jug sitting in the crummy only kilometers away tormented me. The vacant space grew louder, causing me to hear pitter-patters dodge through the forest. Imaginary cougars stalking me. It was impossible to focus. My eyesight abandoned me. Buzzing invaded my ears. I wanted to hang on and push. Trust me, I really did. Hope was gone. I lost grip of my balance and crash-landed. Julia woke me up by placing the straw of her liquid backpack to my lips. She refused to take it back until I'd emptied it entirely. I made sure I shared my gratitude through beers and cigarettes, the only currency out here. I woke up to the sound no one wants to hear at 3 a.m. The pounding rain was a lot closer than it should be. The coldness forced me to open my lips. I was met with the collapsed disaster of a tent. The tarp had been torn off by the violent winds, leaving us vulnerable to any misery that can pound its way through. I looked over to my best friend Selena for answers. There she was. A faint smile appeared as the pooling puddle caressed her face. I couldn't believe it. Enwrapped in a blanket of misery, she looked peaceful. I had no choice but to admire her unconscious acceptance of the horror that surrounded us. However, my frustration was fully awake and about to lose it. "Can't I just have a break?" I cried out desperately to her. Of course, the only response I got was gusts of menacing winds. I angrily popped up the shitty tent back up, half asleep still. The helicopter unleashes a violent wind before ascending into the clouds. The propellers spin my head into confusion. I need a moment to take in my surroundings. These cut blocks have been abandoned for years by contractors. Legally, the company has to replant them within 3 years, but that doesn't happen. By now, the deserted area is overrun with a city of stocky plants skyscraping above me. They sprawl untamed and free from human touch. Within the green jungle, stinging nettle eagerly awaits my tender flesh, ripe for grazing. The floor is covered in labyrinths of fallen logs. The land wipes me out, stealing the balance from my soles and forcing me to stumble. I feel like I'm running an obstacle course blindfolded. The vegetation camouflages any lurking surprises below. It's a daring game of chance with every step. One wrong move and I could be out for the season. I try to navigate to the best of my abilities, holding my shovel out like a cane, guiding my way. The land is so overgrown, I am lost. Directions blur as I go deeper and deeper into the unknown. The forest does with me as she pleases. I tiptoe gently, hoping to make it out okay. I take a chance and make a risky leap. My foot lands decently, but my hand slips from underneath me. Will I ever make it out of here alive?